As your resident TikTok period fairy, these are my thoughts about the vampire scene in Saltburn. If you haven't seen the movie and you're planning on watching it, this is your warning that I'm going to be giving a spoiler alert about this very critical scene in the movie. It's actually a pivotal scene because this is the first time that we see Oliver's character like really turning over to like this dark, manipulative fucker. And the manipulative information that he's given by the mom is one, that Venetia is masochistic, and also that she has an eating disorder. If you Google the definition of the word masochism, it basically means deriving sexual pleasure from one's own humiliation or just like overall embarrassment or pain. So when Oliver is trying to seduce Venetia, he basically goes up to her and talks like directly at her and is like, did you eat? You threw up? All the things, like ripping the band-aid off, trying to shame and humiliate and embarrass her. And you see Venetia responding to this by like getting sexually aroused. And this is where the movie Saltburn comments on period stigma. Again, Oliver's goal is to humiliate Venetia as much as possible. So let's think through what are the ways we're gonna humiliate this girl as much as possible. One, we take this disorder that she has with disordered eating and we bring it out in public and we are like shaming her for it and trying to tell her that she's wrong for it. Next level of humiliation is she ends up being on her period. She says, this is my time of the month. And he basically talks about how he's into that and doesn't care and basically just says, I'm a vampire, and thus goes down on her, fingers her while she's on her period. There's blood everywhere and she's super into it. Why this is a social commentary is because not everybody agrees that period stigma exists. Obviously, I believe it very much exists, but if you look through some of the comments of like my more viral videos, a lot of the hate comments are like, trying to say and gaslight me into saying, no, nobody's shaming periods. There's no shame around periods. But as we can tell from Saltburn, obviously they're positioning menstruation as this embarrassing thing that adds to the humiliation of Venetia, which in turn turns her on. So I thought that scene was like pretty fascinating because it added to that social commentary of like, yes, we all can relate. Like all us menstruators, all us living in this human society recognize that as like it's like a gasp moment because we all are familiar with the period stigma. We're like all familiar with the feeling, especially if you're sexually active and a menstruator, we know the feeling of nervousness or embarrassment when you're getting intimate and you might be on your period and you don't know how the other person is going to react. And it does feel a little bit embarrassing, and that embarrassment is a result of being so conditioned by this shame and stigma around periods. And so that part of the movie gets this emotional reaction from us, and it's meant to get that emotional reaction from us in commenting that menstrual period stigma is